Great. Thanks, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, Passenger Transport Technology, Latest Developments and Practical Solutions to Enhance Your Bus Operations. My name's Craig Sparrow. I'm Executive Director at Bus SA, and I welcome everyone that's on the Zoom webinar today. Thanks very much. We appreciate your time and commitment to the education that we're putting on today. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we get started for all attendees. Encourage you to please keep your video on. But for those people other than the presenters, it'd be great if you could just mute your microphone just to avoid any disturbance or distractions from your microphone would be great. And then once we get to the end of the three main presentations, we'll ask you can take your mute off and have an open Q&A forum then. If you haven't already, I suggest that you please turn your screen view on, which you can do at the top right-hand corner of your screen, to speaker view. This will just enhance and bring up the speaker screen when they're actually presenting to you. All right, great. We'd like to get started, and I'll introduce today's presenters. Luke Condina from CSC Crosscom. He's a business development manager at CSC Crosscom based in South Australia. Brent Purcell, who's the service delivery manager at Sunbury Coaches. Mark Barmby, who is a seasoned specialist in NEC's Smart Transport Group, boasts over 20 years of experience in developing, delivering and supporting next generation transport solutions in Australia. So Mark's the main contact concerning NEC Smart Transport Solutions. So thanks very much for joining us today, Mark. Mark's joined by Tithi Roy. Tithi is a solution architect in NEC Smart Transport team. Tithi is fascinated with how smart transport represents an intersection of technology and everyday life. Thanks very much for joining us today, Tithi. Our final presenter is Hamed Shogi, who's a business intelligence manager at Scania, leading the digitalization function with Scania's business transformation department. As I suggested previously, we'll take Q&A at the end, so if you please note those down at that stage would be great. And we'll move into a presentation. Luke, over to you.
Great. Thanks, Craig. So this is CSC Crosscom's first year supporting the Bus Association of South Australia. So it's good to be a part of the organisation for the first time, and hopefully we can continue on to help support you guys as we go on. And probably what I'll start with, if you don't mind going to the next slide, Craig, it's just a bit about us. So a lot of you may not have heard about us, who we are and what we do. We are Motorola's largest customer across the country, and our key focus is communications, asset tracking, and also video solutions. So what we do is all geared around safety, ensuring that your people are safe, and we provide effective communications to your staff members. So we've got 300 employees across Australia and New Zealand now. We are global, and there's 1,400 across the board. We've got technical expertise in a whole range of technology solutions. So not just Motorola, but that is our key focus, and that's what we know very well. In terms of project delivery, if there's any vehicles that need installations or just support with any solutions we can provide, we can manage that not only at the beginning, but ongoing after that. We're ISO certified, and yeah, we are growing rapidly. So we've got offices in every state, and yeah, in South Australia, we're located in Regency Park and also Mount Gambier. If you don't mind going next slide, Craig. The product that I'm introducing to you all today, I'm not sure if you've heard about it before, but it's called Wave PTX. Essentially, what this product is a wide area network radio communications, utilizing the largest cellular network in the country. It brings in the group communications feature that's all well known in the radio industry, with instant push-to-talk communications, but having the benefit of hitting a huge number of towers. So what that means is it gives you a large scale, wide area network, and you can communicate anywhere you get mobile coverage. You'll be able to get radio communications. This is a cloud-based service, so you can see who's talking at any one time, including tracking, so you can track the units, and geofence and location. So if you want to preset areas or locations where you need your people to be going, that can be set up in the platform. The big thing here is just employee safety with the emergency alert. So if there is an incident that arises, you can hit the duress button and your team will be able to effectively communicate and track where that is at any one time. For auditing purposes, it's huge, just so you can see how many incidents you've had internally and be able to use that information with how you see fit. Yeah, that's a high level overview. I'm going to throw over to Brent Purcell, the service delivery manager now. If you don't mind skipping slides, Craig. He's nice enough to go. He's a very, very busy man, but he's nice enough to hop on the call today and walk us through his Wave PTX solution for their buses. Are you with us there, Brent?
Your microphone's not coming through, Brent, for some reason. Did you want to, Luke, pick up continuing your presentation, and maybe in the meantime, Brent, try to join via your phone, maybe on the audio?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. If yeah, happy to do that. We can circle back.
Is that the right screen for you now?
Yeah, that's good. So it'd be good to circle back after, because Brent can introduce a few of the reasons why those features were important to him. But generally speaking, what we've found with Wave PTX, the benefits to the transport industry or the bus industry, the first point is safety. Huge area, huge coverage area to make sure that you're hitting your team when you need to for communications, and also duress, location and real-time tracking. So you'll be able to see where they are at any one time, react to incidences that occur, even if it's just to check in on your team and to make sure that they are, in fact, where they need to be. Tap them on the shoulder and see if they're okay instantly. So unlike a mobile phone, you can use a radio while you're driving, and this is certainly classed as one of those. So good safety tool. In terms of efficiency, from a management perspective, good just to get the you there? Oh, yep, I can hear you, Brent.
Yep, hear me now?
Sure can.
Sorry about that, guys. Had some audio issues.
What I'll do is I'll just cut that bit short. We'll circle back to you if you like, Brent. You can go through your slide.
Not a problem. Yeah, look, my apologies, everyone, with the audio issues I was having. Yeah, look, I suppose just to recap, Donrick, we've got several contracts where emergency contacts are needed in each of our vehicles. So we were looking for a solution as the mobile phone laws changed, I suppose, within the vehicles. Drivers aren't allowed to touch mobile phones. We were looking for a flexible solution where we could actually contact our drivers immediately and something that was legal for our drivers to use. So a few years ago, we contacted Crosscom, asking around for a data solution similar to mobile phones with a handset. So they've put us onto Motorola. We've been on them for the last probably couple of years now. We've tried a couple of different systems. Motorola has been pretty reliable for us. So really, it's we've been able to, what we wanted out of the system anyway, we wanted multiple channels, so we didn't have all that unnecessary talk and chat. We didn't want a system that was on the public network, so anyone else could listen in. So we've set up our fleet pretty much across 3 or 4 depots now. We're kind of implementing it Far North Queensland as we speak as well. So as I said, we're in Victoria and Far North Queensland. We've set up the one system across all. It can be easily kind of adjusted between depots, and each depot within their work groups have created multiple channels within their kind of depots as well, just so you don't have that unnecessary talk on the channel. So it's a very flexible system. As I said, we've got full control on how we actually change the channels and create channels and rename channels, all that kind of gear. Bus allocations, we do all that from our end. So it is a very easy to use system. All systems report back to depot. So as Luke's been explaining, as I said, we can see their GPS location. We've got the duress system already. That's all in all our policies now for bus drivers that are under duress and can't speak, for example. So we've built all that kind of into our policy now as well for backup. Other than that, yeah, look, it's a very flexible system, and we've been more than happy. As I said, it works across multiple depots. If we have vehicles that are kind of working in between depots, or we've got a big kind of special occasion or a full kind of depot, multiple depot charter on the same task, we basically create a channel and merge all those buses into the one channel. So it's got a lot of flexibility for us. As I said, drivers are legal to use them, so they can answer while driving. We get immediate response, and it's definitely improved the way we operate here in the communication between our drivers. And throw back to you, Luke, if you want to add anything extra.
No, thank you, Brent. Yeah, that's it's a good summary, and it was pretty much a segue into the next slide that we were looking at before. And good to note, Brent's team is managing their own portal. They're making changes as they see fit. If you're a small organization and you don't want to handle that, you can lean on us. I personally manage the Wave PTX platform for a number of our customers here in South Australia, and gone are the days of having to bring a unit in for reprogramming for some basic channel changes or something like that. It's all done in the portal. It's quick, it's easy, and you can go about your day knowing it's done right. So, yeah. So Brent was nice enough to hop on the call and explain what's good for them and how it worked for them. So thank you for that. And yes, just to hammer down a couple of points, it's very simple, scalable, no matter how big or small, and your data is safe. So it's in high tier data centers locally, so none of your private information is shipped to a data center overseas or anything like that. It's all local and looked after here in the country. And yeah, the point of today is just essentially to give you guys the information about what is currently out in market. It might not suit you guys to exactly, but that's what we're here to do. So next slide, Craig. So these are, you can see there's a few devices on the screen. There's a bring your own device option. So if you've got a manager or someone who's not on the road and is able to use their mobile, there's an app sitting on a mobile phone that you can communicate into the network. So you could have users with portable devices, which you see on the right-hand side of the slide. One's got an inbuilt duress button, the other one doesn't. We've got in-vehicle units that can be mounted permanently, or you could do a sort of on-the-fly DIY install if you don't want permanent fixing. And there's also a dispatch console that somebody will be able to see all the units at any one time and communicate via the PC or laptop or tablet. So it's pretty flexible, and it's good because not everyone needs the same sort of unit, and tends to be why we find this being a really successful product in the transport industry. Flick over the next slide, please. So the beauty of this product is we are able to offer you a trial. If you're at all interested, even if you just want some more information, feel free to reach out to me. You'll see my email there on the screen. But yeah, we are frequently providing demos for customers because it's always good to see how you think it'll fit and see how you think it'll work. And I always think it's powerful because there are a lot of these solutions in the market. And as Brent alluded to, we've landed on Motorola. And the reason being it is a top tier product, your data is safe, and it's durable and reliable. So giving it a crack is always the best way to see if it'll be a fit or not. So yes, feel free to reach out if you're keen on giving it a go. Next slide, Craig. I'll just touch on a couple other bits and pieces before we finish up. So we have got a number of wide area network solutions. One of them is the Orion Radio Network. So it's actually the largest digital radio network across the country. Now it's owned and maintained by CSC Crosscom. Now we've now got 20,000 subscribers on the network, and we're in all your major capital cities. So if you have got the need for wide area network and not keen on looking at a cellular solution for whatever reason, we have got the digital network available and can actually merge the two. So one of the major concrete suppliers across the country wanted to go for a mix of cellular and digital radio, and we're able to communicate between the pair of them if needed. And subscriber based, so the option of no upfront fees for the hardware, we're able to put it as a monthly fee, which is a benefit if OPEX is better than CAPEX for your operations. Next slide, please, Craig. The final product we're touching on today is TurboTrack. So it's a mid-tier tracking solution. So I'm sure you're all well aware, and you probably already have some form of tracking in your vehicles. But where we fit here and what's our unique value proposition to the bus organization is that it's not anywhere near as expensive as some of those in market, and CSC being in every state is available to help. So you don't have to manage the tracking software if you don't want to. You can lean on us to do that for you. And there is a few key benefits here that you'll see on the screen. I'm not going to go through all of them. It will account for any duress alarms, geofencing, which we touched on earlier, and reporting and status. So if your bus is full, for an example, we can tell the system to notify you of that. It's completely customizable, and it's owned and operated again and managed by CSC Crosscom. So we're very flexible with how we can put it together for you. And again, we're in that sort of mid-tier, so you get a good tracking solution. It just won't be, it won't have some of the features that I'm sure you'll probably see coming up that I saw before from the NEC slides. Yeah, that's pretty much TurboTrack. If you don't mind just flicking over the last page, Craig. And yeah, so you can see here how the live tracking is put together. Pretty basic stuff. Again, probably more of what you're already used to. You can track the user and label it with an ID, driver name, vehicle rego, speed, and position. So you can use all that information how you see fit internally. But yeah, so thanks a lot today, guys. That's me. I am more than happy to field any questions at the end. or if you want to flick us an email, always keen to have a chat, even if it's just to learn about your business and introduce us a little bit more. So thank you very
Great.
much.
Thanks very much, Luke, for the presentation. Yeah, stick around for the Q&A at the end. I'll hand over now to Tithi and Mark for a presentation on the smart transport technology.
Good on you. Thank you, Craig, and good afternoon to all on the call. Appreciate your time. And of course, the opportunity for Tithi and I to come in and represent NEC and give you, I guess, some insight into what we're doing in what we term NEC Smart Transport space in and around technology. And really, it's quite simple for us. It's based on, I guess, the whole concept of smart transport for NEC is based on 4 real concepts, and that's just improving the operational performance, improving passenger experience, bringing about safety and security through all facets of transport, be it the driver, the commuter, the school child, and so on. But then, of course, optimizing the performance of public transport holistically, and that's what will give you, I guess, a step through over the next 10 to 15 minutes. So I'll hand over to Tithi in a moment. Next slide, please, Craig. We'll skim through this one, so you can see us on the screen, but that's Tithi and I. And as I mentioned, Tithi will, from this point, take you through what is essentially a virtual commute on a passenger vehicle, a bus, from the moment they leave their door to the point of destination. And what it will do, ideally, is give you some visualization around what that looks like from an NEC lens, particularly in that smart transport sports space. Our details will be on the end of this slide. If you wanted to capture that and ask any questions at the end of it, more than happy to field those or follow up as we go through. Thanks, Craig. I'll hand over to Tithi.
Thanks, Mark, and good afternoon, everyone. All aboard the Innovation Express. Next stop, Advanced Transit Solutions. We request you to grab your virtual tickets and find a comfy spot, because today we are taking you on the most exciting bus ride of your life. Well, that's probably an exaggeration, but think about it. You won't even need to leave home. No need to swipe a card or even stand in a line. Imagine you've just hopped on the smart bus of 2024 and getting ready to experience the smart transport revolution without worrying about missing your stop or spilling your coffee. We are about to speed through ticketing, safety, and real-time data like a bus in the express lane. The message we want to drive home today in this webinar is how real-time data is playing a pivotal role in steering us towards a future of innovation and efficiency. This 15-minute ride is packed with more insights than the Rush Hour Express, and the best part, no one will be fighting for the armrest or asking you to give up your seat. So sit back, relax, and let's accelerate to the world of seamless and anxiety-free travel. As you can see, I've taken my job very seriously and giving you this presentation from a bus itself. So hope you enjoy the journey. Next slide, please, Craig. So imagine it's morning and you're getting ready for work. You prefer the convenience of public transport. You pull up the bus schedule on your smartphone to find a departure time that fits your morning routine. The ideal bus arriving at 8:06 a.m. offers you ample time to enjoy your morning coffee before heading out. Next slide, please. Standing at the bus stop, you might notice someone snapping a photo of the timetable. I've been there myself, capturing a screenshot quickly to refer to when planning for future journeys. This method proves to be quite the hassle because you never locate the right photo at the right time. And of course, not to mention the static timetable lacks real-time updates. Next. Shift your gaze to the envisioned bus stand of the future on the right. It features passenger information displays, which we call PIDs, providing real-time accurate ETA information. These displays are easy to install and require minimal power and operate on solar energy by the day, ensuring they are visible even in direct sunlight, and switch to battery power by night. Beyond functionality, these stands offer a platform for advertising, adding a commercial value to the space. Designed to be durable and wirelessly connected, they represent a significant leap towards enhancing the commuter experience. Next, please. Additionally, the passenger, Craig, yeah, if you can stay there for a minute. Additionally, the passenger information displays are equipped with a text-to-speech feature, ensuring that all commuters, including the visually impaired passengers, can access the real-time updates. Next slide, please. Now, for the operators present in this room and us commuters, we know that safety is paramount for all of us, inside the bus as well as at the bus stop. The conventional approach of managing CCTV footage presents logistical challenges, requiring significant storage and labor-intensive review at a later date to investigate past events. Now we can do all that, but next, please. Envision instead a robust video analytics system designed to process video streams in near real time. This behavioral recognition technology transcends basic object and attribute detection. It's added a discerning concerning behavior and interactions, providing immediate alerts on significant activities and events. This is a proactive leap in surveillance, offering a more immediate and insightful security response. As you can see, people are gathered here beyond, it looks suspicious, and some people are also painting graffiti. So these features can be monitored in near real time without a person having to dedicate their time in front of a CCTV camera 24/7. Next slide, please. Now, thankfully, nothing unforeseen happens, and as anticipated, the bus pulls up precisely at 8:06 a.m. You board, tap your card for payment, and as you do, the automatic passenger counter at the door tallies everyone entering. This smart feature gauges the bus's current occupancy, collecting data that's invaluable for providing upcoming passengers with advance notice of the space on board and informs them ahead. Next slide, please. Now, in all this, the most important role in this transit experience is played by a bus driver, and equipping them with the right technology is crucial for ensuring safety and punctuality. To support this, we have created a turn-by-turn navigation solution that displays instantly route diversions as they're transmitted by the operators. It provides comprehensive navigation, accounting for bus lanes, restricted areas, prescribed turns, and includes both visual and audio guidance for the next maneuver. The system comes with a training mode and can be used for just new driver training. Next, please. And while all this happens inside the bus, the passengers benefit from the passenger information displays that announce the upcoming stops and optionally show advertisements. The onboard announcements further enhance accessibility for all passengers, making it again an inclusive experience. Next slide, please. Now, while all this is going on amid the bustle inside the bus, a parent is quietly concerned about her child's timely and safe arrival at the school. Although she had to leave her daughter at the bus stop to catch her own ride back to work before the school bus arrived, technology comes to her aid. A reassuring notification from the school bus app pings on her phone, confirming her child's safe arrival at school. With a relieved smile, she brushes aside her worries and turns her focus to the day's work ahead. This system offers a valuable tool for the school administration as well, by maintaining a manifest that logs the children using the school bus service and notes any exceptions. This feature streamlines the process of tracking attendance and ensures that the school has up-to-date information on student transportation. Next slide, please. However, the journey hits a snag when an unforeseen roadblock appears on the route. The driver promptly uses the push-to-talk over cellular system to alert the Operation Control Center about the situation. This technology empowers the OCC to manage incoming communication effectively, choosing which calls to address first based on urgency, a stark enhancement over the conventional radio systems. This enables precise messaging from the OCC, whether it's a broad update to all staff or a specific directive to certain teams or individuals. So one-on-one group call is up to the OCC to take the decision. As a result of the delay, real-time adjustments are made to both the passenger information apps and onboard passenger information displays inside the bus, ensuring that the passengers are kept informed about the current ETA. Next slide, please, Craig. Thank you. As the roadblock dissipates, the journey resumes. But there's another challenge. To his despair, the driver is unable to maneuver quickly as other vehicles are occupying the bus-only lanes. Such transgressions not only disrupt the traffic flow, but also lead to significant losses in the key performance indicators for the transport sector annually. To counter this problem, artificial intelligence (AI) is revolutionizing the bus industry with applications such as bus lane enforcement. This AI-powered system mounted on the windshield meticulously monitors for traffic violations in dedicated bus lanes. By ensuring lanes are kept clear for buses, the system facilitates faster transit times, bolsters punctuality, and ultimately heightens passenger satisfaction. Furthermore, it contributes to the safety of riders as they embark and disembark, making it a multifaceted asset for public transportation. Next slide, please. So our bus journey took approximately probably 10 minutes in the express lane ends here. How was it? Did you feel the commute was stress-free and you were able to relax, except that unavoidable roadblock? The good news is, if the roadblock was planned, it would have adjusted your ETA before you started your day. So I'm certain the audience here recognizes that technology leads to a smarter, more seamless transit experience. By integrating cutting-edge solutions, public transportation becomes not only more efficient and reliable, but also more responsive to the need of every traveler. From real-time updates to advanced safety measures, the fusion of technology with transit services enhances overall service quality. Let's ride into the future together, where every journey is improved by innovation. I hand it over to Mark again to conclude our presentation.
Thank you, Tithi. Well done. Thank you for taking us through the virtual journey. I think it paints a really clear and concise visual on, I guess, transport, both here and what's coming in terms of some of the technology that's readily accessible and available today. Look, just in closing, NEC is an Australian firm, so NEC Australia. We're part of a global firm. Our Centre of Excellence for Transport actually sits here in Australia, and with that comes a lot of our research and development, as in what we do here in Australia is then replicated worldwide rather than being global and then brought into Australia. So we're very close to, I guess, our region. We're very close to the clients within our region. What you can see on the right of the screen there is not the I guess the all complete picture, but a representation of us being in each and every state and territory in Australia, but across a diverse mix of operators and transport authorities. We're very proud of where we are. We've been around in the transport space now for over 35 years as a dedicated industry vertical, and we're really excited about what the future looks like for transport for Australia and particularly in each of the states and territories. Craig, just to next slide, please, mate. Just to close finally, again, here are our details, Tithi and myself. By all means, feel free to reach out. We'll be happy to engage any questions and address those, and or even meet for a coffee and a chat in and around your organisation, and just giving you some more insight into what Tithi has stepped you through today. Thanks very much.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Tithi and Mark. Great presentation there, finding out more about the passenger journey and the possibilities of the application for operators. Now hand over to Hamed, who will take us through connected services and solutions from a OEM and telematics perspective. Thanks, Hamed.
Thank you, Craig. Thanks to the other presenters, and thanks for everybody else for making the time out to join today. So yes, my name is Hamed. I'm from Scania, Australia. We are a truck and bus manufacturer in OE, but we have also been dabbling in the connectivity and I suppose the fleet management solution space for some time. So next slide, Craig. So for us globally, it goes back to 99, which is when we started dabbling in connectivity. And that's when Scania started a side company called Scania Infotronics. And the idea with this was to basically correspond with the recent, I suppose, launch of CAN and CAN functionality in our vehicles, but to be able to be more of an IT company to start working out software solutions and tech solutions that we can then take data from our vehicles to better support our customers or transport operators. So next slide, great, thank you. So yeah, 20 years of innovation, started back in 99. We were fortunate to have the very first connected vehicle of any OEM within the automotive space back in 2002, which obviously we then launched our services, launched our own hardware and device, which became standard technology in all of our vehicles, and go through a few more years of innovation, winning a few different prizes, and having reached over 600,000 connected vehicles globally, currently. So probably also sitting at about 10,000 connected vehicles here in Australia. So next slide, Craig, thanks. So I suppose a bit of heat map to kind of give you a bit of an idea of where our global presence are. We are a major player in Europe, especially within the telematics space, but we are growing across Australia as well. So next slide, please. In terms of why it's important to us, well, for us, it's about supporting our clients. As I suppose items become more expensive, fleets become more expensive to maintain and support. For us, it's about helping our clients better analyze the performance of their fleet, identify areas of improvement, improve performance in their fleet, improve economy, and ultimately increase growth. Next slide, Craig. So Scania's vision is to drive the shift towards sustainable transport solutions and systems together with our partners and customers. And our mission is to provide a profitable service based on connectivity that makes sure that Scania's assets are end customer connected. And that's across trucks, buses, and industrial and marine engines. Next slide, Craig. I will go through a few slides here. I'll actually skip over this, Craig, if that's okay. So we've got a range of different solutions currently available as a fleet management offering. And these are just to name a few. We'll get you to go to the next slide there, Craig. And our fleet management services is there to help our customers get better control of their fleet, improve uptime, productivity, save fuel, ultimately reduce administrative tasks, and I suppose help get a positive impact to the environment. Next slide, thanks. One of our key offerings is our monitoring package, and this is available for all of our clients who have got a recent vehicle, generally from 2014 onwards, with hardware fitted. Now, basically, this gives our clients a basic insights of how their fleets performed over a previous month, week, or year. Basic summaries of what distance they travel, what the odometer reading was at the end, how much idle times, how much coasting, what the average fuel consumption was, and what the CO2 output was from the vehicle. Next slide, Craig. We've also got a premium service, which is our control package, which then goes into a bit more detail. Next slide there, Craig. I suppose one of the key features is fleet positioning, and that obviously helps visualize where your vehicles are on a map, be able to see historic data in terms of where they've been, geofence, get driving time to see how the drivers have been operating, vehicle information like fault codes, any alerts, and so, and also be able to visualize on a map where your customers' locations, depots, or other key areas are on a map. Next slide. I'll skip over these ones here, but we've got service planning, vehicle performance, which takes the monitoring a bit more detail. And the next one there is driver evaluation, which I'll go into a bit more later as well. One of our key things that we're working on at the moment, or what's available at the moment, is then taking geofencing to a whole new level. So where traditional geofencing is about notifying a fleet manager of a vehicle entering or leaving a zone, what we've done is basically done it the other way around in terms of the system notifying the bus and making adjustments to the vehicle. So what we have available is our fleet owners can set perimeters around a certain area. And as the vehicle enters that zone, we can actually speed control that vehicle. So let's say a vehicle enters a school zone, we can remotely say, as soon as you enter that zone, your new speed limit is 40 kilometers an hour. We can also set it, make adjustments on hybrid vehicles. So if a vehicle goes into an emission-free zone, we can then set it that it basically has to operate off battery power as soon as it enters that area. Or there might be particular areas or times of the day where it needs to be operating on low noise because of obviously noise pollution issues. So, and that's what Scania Zone has available. Next slide there, Craig. The other key thing for us is, I suppose, is opening the world in terms of what APIs and data access can do. Now, obviously, where our bread and butter is to manufacture trucks, buses, and engines. We're not an IT company. Yes, we've got tech arms, but it's about making that data available so then you can work with suppliers and partners to be able to build custom solutions utilizing the data from our vehicles. Next slide there, Craig. We've got driver apps and fleet apps available as well to make it easy on drivers to do things on the go, like do defect reports or even control the heaters on certain vehicles. Next slide there, Craig. We also start to utilize data in other areas. And one of the areas that we do definitely use data is in our driver training and our driver services abilities. So, so I'll get you to skip over there, Craig, to the driver coaching section. So just a couple more slides. Yep, the next one there. There we go. So one of the areas that we do utilize data from our vehicle or FMS data is driver coaching reporting, which is now available to all of our customers to use within the fleet management services. Basically, this takes vehicle performance, or I suppose performance data, itemized to the actual driver who was operating the vehicle at the time, and it basically compares them to other drivers driving similar types of transport work to give them an easy A to E grading system, but then also be able to then go into a bit more detail with some system-generated hints on areas that they can improve. Next slide there, Craig. Basically, how our driver coaching element works is like you would do for any kind of training program. You know, yes, you take the initial training, but then old habits die hard and you just revert back to the way you were. We have basically onboard technology like our driver support scores that arouse that support effect, but it kind of sometimes gives you that roller coaster effect where the coaching effect, which is using coaching tools, it's about sustaining or that sugar hit and continuously improving fuel efficiencies and also wear on the vehicle. Next slide. So for us, I suppose connectivity and FMS data is about also enabling new business areas. And these are some of the areas that we've actually been able to utilize the data from our vehicles to be able to support our customers. Within the mining space, we've been able to do what's called site optimization, which basically does like route planning or site planning in terms of where things should be based. As we embark the e-mobility stage, we're using FMS data to basically be more of a consultative partner with our clients. So looking at their existing fleet and their existing performance and converting that to how it would look like or simulated in an electric space. Also then look at routes and charging infrastructure needed at sites and so on. We've also done a bit on the IoT space with connected vests and connected watches and having some sort of connectivity between the vehicle and the driver and reporting that back to fleet management. We've been able to utilize our data to improve preventative maintenance, basically give our customers a transformed customer experience, but also be able to work with other parts of the bodywork and bodybuilders that plug into our vehicle to look at how we can utilize that data to report back into that. Next slide there, Craig. So the last part is, I suppose, how it ultimately helps us as an OEM. And I suppose this kind of summarizes it here. One, having with over 600,000 connected vehicles globally, we no longer have to just rely on a fleet of 200 vehicles within our R&D space to simulate and test out potential vehicles. we've now got access to live working vehicles out in the field, doing real life work that we can leverage off to continuously improve our products. The other part is our sales and marketing. Having those connected vehicles helps us actually specify the right type of work for the right job. So rather than saying a bus is a bus, then we can look at the application, the environment, the terrain that the bus will be operating to work out which powertrain or configuration is going to suit that particular job. Our vehicles are all connected as soon as they leave the assembly line, so it helps us all to track the vehicle throughout the order to delivery space. Last one there is our service delivery. Connectivity's basically helped us look at maintenance in a whole different way, moving away from your traditional A/B style servicing to servicing exactly what the vehicle's telling us that needs to be serviced. It helps us remotely diagnose the vehicle, so when the vehicle's out there in the field, broken down, we can see what the fault codes are and make decisions early. We could better network plan, and there's other various different things we can do. And the last slide there, Craig. So, like I suppose a particular comment said in The Economist a few years back, is that the world's most valuable resource is no longer oil, but data, and our vehicles are just full of it. We've got sensors left, right, and center, and it's about better utilising that information and how we can better support our clients. So, thank you.
Great, thanks very much, Hamed, and also to Luke, Brent, Mark, and Tithi for your presentations today. We'll soon move into the open Q&A. Hope you've been able to note down some queries. But before we do, I just really wanted to acknowledge all of our partners that support Bus SA. You can see them, they're gold, silver, and bronze partners. All of which who support Bus SA and our members and bring innovative and efficient solutions to our industry, just like you've evidenced today. So thank you very much to all of our partners. What we'll move to now is our Q&A. So Luke, Mark, and Tithi, and Hamed, Brent, if you're available to answer the questions that come up. As participants on the webinar, as you can unmute yourself now to ask your question. I'll open it up to the floor. Are there any questions that anyone would like to pitch to the presenters at all? Just time for you to think about those. I did have a couple myself. Tithi, the first one was for you, please. You mentioned the in-school bus solution and the recording exceptions. Can you explain a bit more about what you meant by that?
Yes. So in some of the states, the rule is the bus driver is only supposed to take the students AM, PM, who are on the roll, who are on the manifest, the list that they have been provided by the Department of Education or Department of Transport. But if there's a student who is in school uniform and wants to board the bus, they can't deny. But what they need to do is they need to record the exception that, you know, this child boarded or alighted the bus at this time. And also if a student who is on the roll gets off at the wrong stop, they also need to record this. Often they do this manually now with a pen and paper, and if they can, you know, remember it, but the system offers them to digitally record and store this data easily so that it can be referred for future purpose for reporting, etc.
Yeah, great. That's really important to have that option available. Any other questions from the floor? Hamed, one that I noted for you, so Scania's a OEM, obviously, but what would be one key difference between a fleet management service through the OEM to a proper telematics provider?
Yeah, okay, thanks, Craig. Yeah, so for us, basically, I suppose our perspective is a little bit different on telematics, where it's not necessarily just focused on tracking the vehicle itself, but tracking the other data that comes from the vehicle. So one of the things that we speak to with a lot of operators within the transport space is, are we really tracking fuel and maintenance costs and other elements? And a lot of this stuff are impacted by the data that we get from the vehicle and the various different ECUs that we've got. The other key part for us is looking at ways of how we can properly interact with the vehicle, like the way we do with Scania Zone. And obviously, as we start to move towards more autonomous spaces, we need to start looking at ways of how we can get vehicle-to-vehicle communication, vehicle-to-server communication, or even like vehicle infrastructure or vehicle-to-objects. So, but I suppose, yes, our perspective is a little bit different in a telematic space. It's more that proper connectivity back with the vehicle is the key part for us.
Yeah, great. Thank you. And Tithia, I noted about the training solution. I think it was the turn-by-turn solution. Can you explain a bit more about that? And is a solution being used elsewhere in Australia that you know of?
Yes. So the training part of the app. So this has two modes: the operational mode and the training mode. So the operational mode is to be used when they are on duty, the drivers on real runs. And they can see, their headway performance, whether the buses are bunching, capping, what's the next stop, if it's a timing point, etc. The training mode, if you just want to use that app to train the new drivers, because I know this industry, a lot of drivers are joining the task force regularly, and you need to really quickly train them on the routes. And it's quite overwhelming for anyone to drive a big vehicle and unknown routes. So you can just take the training part of the app and just load your routes and just seamlessly train them on how to, drive based on the audio cues. They don't have to always also look at the screen, but the audio cues will enable them to become more independent drivers and reduce the need of having spend another person to shadow them or to guide them all the time, at least for, the initial few weeks, because that's a resource, because you take that resource out from another run and put it to shadow the trainee driver. And about where it's being rolled out, yes, the app is being rolled out in a couple of states in Australia. Kasturia bus line, no, sorry, Kasturia is not, sorry, there's another transport operator in Victoria, which I can't name, is using this turn-by-turn application. And also Transport Canberra is going to roll out turn-by-turn for around 500 buses in Canberra, along with other pieces of the technology I showed. So yeah, and we have trialed it successfully with a couple of other operators, and hoping we'll be able to work with them soon.
Yeah, great. I think that those sort of driver support and driver support training programs are really important. The comm support that Luke went through as well earlier, really important at the moment with the influx of recruitment of new drivers at the moment, and I guess the support that's needed for those new drivers as they're coming on board as well. Look, I think that thanks very much for everyone's participation today, expertise and insight and time provided by all of our presenters. Thank you very much, as well as all of those who have attended today, taking time out of your schedule. I do hope that you've found value in the webinar. The recording will be provided post today to all of you, as well as to all of our members and industry participants as well. As we're closing off, I just want to let you know the next opportunity when we're getting together here in South Australia. We're holding our Bus SA conference on May the 18th, Saturday, May the 18th. So we do welcome everyone to attend that. We put an insightful program together. We'll hear from a range of speakers, a range of topics from those industry leaders. However, what we will be doing this year is focusing on school bus service enhancements and the process leading up to the contract work that we're doing with the Department of Education over the next 12 to 18 months as well. So we actually will look to release the program towards in this week. So welcome you to that. Thank you again for your attendance today, everyone, and wish you a great rest of the day. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks
Craig.
all.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.